This is episode 17 of Transcending Sport on Wisp Sports Radio. I'm Chris Stafford, and at Wisp Sports, we believe that women in sport deserve equal coverage. Transcending Sport tells the story of women who have given back to sport to help others in different ways, from organisations to campaigns, business to sports administration, charities and media initiatives. My guest today is Claire Deacon, who is the founder of the Olas legging and the company that produces them. Claire is a graphic designer whose philosophy is all about using fabrics to help the environment. She spent 10 years in the industry designing shoes, bags and surf clothing, which gave her the knowledge and skills to develop her own brand at Olas Ocean Tribe, which is inspired by the ocean and nature. Growing up in Devon in the south of England and subsequently visiting beaches in Thailand and Sri Lanka, Claire became acutely aware of the plastic pollution in the oceans. The statistics caused by plastic pollution are staggering, and she said, "I felt passionate about creating awareness around the importance of recycling plastic, and I wanted to turn the threat into threads. I wanted to add momentum to the consumer mindset of reducing, reusing, and recycling." And so Olas, which is Spanish for waves, was created. The Olas recycled plastic leggings show it is possible to create slow fashion that stands the test of time, is kind to the environment in the process, and saves the oceans from plastic pollution. And I caught up with Claire recently in Morocco to hear the story behind the brand and the leggings. Claire, welcome to the program.
Hello.
Enjoying the sunshine, but also doing something that you really enjoy doing as well. So tell us why you're in Morocco.
Well, at the moment, I am teaching yoga and spending as much time as possible by the ocean, in the ocean, and in the sun.
That sounds absolutely ideal.
It is.
Well, we want to talk about your company, obviously, and how that started and the philosophy behind it. But first of all, give us a little background to yourself. What's your interest in sports? Because you don't just surf and do yoga. I mean, you are a very active woman.
My interest in sports, I'd say that I like non-impact sports. So I like walking, cycling and yoga. And then there's the other end of the spectrum where you've got your surfing, which can be extreme. But I like to surf small waves. I call myself a small wave rider. So yeah, I never go in when it's too dangerous, or too big, or if there's rocks involved. Generally like to keep fit and healthy, eat well, and stay as active as possible. I find it good for not only physical health but mental health as well. Like to really tire myself out in the day in order to get a good night's sleep.
That's a great way to look at it. Yeah.
Yes, it's imperative for mental health, I think, sport.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So let's talk about the company that you formed, Olas, because it's a British-based company. Obviously, you're made in England, and the product is too. What was the philosophy behind you starting this company, Claire?
So Olas is a lifestyle brand inspired by the ocean and nature. And the aim is to highlight the importance of recycling plastic in the hope that it will stop entering our oceans. And it was created by me. It was born out of a love for the ocean. And being by the ocean a lot of the time, I can see that there is a marine litter crisis going on. Especially in Devon, it's not so much of a new thing now to be hearing this. I'd like to think that people are aware that this is happening. It is a crisis. And I think that spurred me on to try and do something about it. The way I saw it was, okay, I've got some skills, I've got some background in designing, in clothing design and branding. So how can I put it together? How can I put my passions together to do something good? I was working in the textile industry. My previous job was a clothing designer. So the other side of it all is I've seen how polluting the textile industry.
So the first time I heard about your products was with the Volvo Ocean Race and Deacon, the sailor and skipper of Turn the Tide on Plastic, very fittingly, of course, and I'm sure a deliberate move on your part to have her endorse your product. How did that come about?
Yes, well, it was a really, really nice email I received from Deacon representative saying she would like to come on board and basically, can we help each other out? There's some synergy between what she's doing and what I'm doing. You know, we're both, let's put our heads together and try to turn the tide on plastic, as she would put it. And yeah, so I heard about Deacon wearing them in Newport at one of the Volvo Ocean Race stopovers before I even saw the photo myself. So it was great. It stirred up a lot of interest, and I guess that's the aim, really. You know, when you have ambassadors, you have people who are spreading the message of your brand and doing vice versa. I'd like to say that, you know, I think that she's probably got a bit more of a following than Olas anyway, so she's probably doing a bit more of a favour for me and the plastic crisis. But yeah, I've also been shouting her out as well. I don't know too much about sailing myself, but totally admire what they're doing. It's pretty full on. It's I think the race takes about a year or something. And yeah, the next stop's UK. So maybe I'll get to go and meet Dee myself, possibly.
The product is obviously ideal for sailors, surfers, but it also for a much wider audience. Explain the fabric there, Claire, and it is plastic, of course, but there's something else in there too. Just give us an idea of what it's made of and where you would see this being used beyond water sports.
So the fabric is 78% recycled plastic bottles, and that's post-consumer recycled plastic bottles. The other 22% is extra life Italian lycra. Sorry. So that's, if it was 100% plastic, we wouldn't be able to put them on. You need that bit of extra stretch. The extra stretch within Olas fabric is high quality Italian lycra. And just to make it clear, polyester anyway is plastic. So there's actually not a lot of difference between a regular workout pant or any clothing and recycled plastic. And that's the other point of creating a brand, is I actually don't think there's any excuse or any rhyme or reason to using virgin polyester when we've got so much plastic to recycle that takes, you know, hundreds of years to biodegrade. So yeah, they're worn for a variety of things. I myself wear them daily. A lot of people wear them for yoga because, you know, yoga's making such a a movement. There's such a movement around yoga. You know, it was always going to be very popular, I think, because it's so beneficial and it's so accessible. But I think the leggings can be, and I'm going to say this, but I think the leggings can be worn for pretty much anything. Yoga, surfing. A couple of my friends, one of them's got many surfing awards under her belt. She wears them surfing in warmer climates, you know, that you don't want to necessarily bare all your skin. They're UPF 50, so good for that too. And especially in surfing, they actually prevent something called you can sometimes get rashes from the wax or the board, and you know, a combination of the salt and the rubbings. They're actually good for that. And they're also good for underlayers for skiing, snowboarding. I know people wear them for running, dancing. A friend of mine at the moment, an amazing lady, Cal, she's paddleboarding, stand-up paddleboarding, Land's End to John O'Groats. So usually that's a cycle route. She's taking it on her stand-up paddleboard, and she's doing some of it via canals over the top part of England to Scotland. She's been wearing them too. She isn't wearing them on the journey at the moment because it's cold and she needs neoprene, but she's been wearing them, and she's doing that paddle for to highlight the importance of recycling plastic and to cut down on plastic use. So she's also an ambassador for Olas. So she wears them when it's a bit warmer, stand-up paddleboarding. And yeah, I wear them for cycling. I know people that wear them for climbing and relaxing. You can wear them down the pub if you want.
Basically, absolutely anywhere and everywhere. And you have 4 different designs and colours, don't you, at the moment?
I do, yes. Yes. So one's called Marble Wave, and showcases a kind of dreamlike wave. One's called Crystal Dream, which kind of looks like jellyfish, but also a bit like sea life underwater, because it's all about the ocean and recycling plastic. One's called Sacred Galaxy, so it looks a bit like the galaxy, a bit more, a bit darker, that one. The other one is called Tropical Prism, and that one is probably the brightest of the bunch. Tropical.
A lovely selection.
Thank you.
Well, they of course are on the website Olas Ocean Tribe.com. We'll put a link in the show notes, of course, accompanying this episode. But we want to talk about now what we're delighted to announce here on the show is that you're going to become an official apparel partner of Wisp Sports, and we'll be running a competition so people can actually win a pair of your leggings. Now, we had to put our heads together for this, Claire, and come up with a competition. So this is something that's going to roll out. We can't give too much away right now because we haven't actually decided on what that competition is, have we?
Not quite yet, but yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult. You know, there's just going to be a lucky winner or winners. So yes, very happy to treat someone, spread the message of recycling plastic.
Absolutely. And of course that will all be promoted here at Wisp Sports, so do follow us on social media. We're absolutely everywhere. Just look for Wisp Sports, and we'll be announcing this competition where you can win a pair of Claire's Olas Ocean Tribe leggings. And then the other thing that we need to advertise and promote here right away, well, it's announce really that what is also exciting as part of our partnership, because you're a yoga teacher, you're actually going to be hosting your own show and that we're really looking forward to, because there are so many people out there that follow us here on Wisp Sports that actually do yoga. So why don't you tell everybody what we're going to call this, Claire, and what you're going to talk about on the show?
So on the show, I'm going to talk about, I'm basically going to break yoga down into a bit more daily manageable bites, as you like. And, I'm not going to delve too much into the philosophy of yoga. I'm not going to go very, very in depth. What I'm going to do is break it down into categories of, for example, yoga for back pain, yoga for cyclists, yoga for runners, yoga for stress, yoga for etc. So yes, to be confirmed, the rest of the titles. And the show will be called Moving and Grooving.
I love that. Moving and Grooving with Claire. Yes, perfect. This is perfect. We're really excited about this, and there will be lots of photos too on the page on the website, so look out for that. That will be going up here shortly, starting in June, so look out for that if you're interested in yoga, of course, and we'll be having pictures up there. Claire will also be doing some little videos to describe what she's doing. And you're also going to do some Facebook Live sessions for us too, aren't you, Claire, while you're surfing in the sun? Not actually while you're on the surfing board, but whilst you're in the sun.
Yes, I can do, for sure, yeah. I'm not very Facebook savvy, but I'll give it a go.
Fantastic. Well, there are lots of ways to catch up with Claire here at Wisp Sports. You can look out for her products. We'll have a link, of course, on our website as well as on our social media. You can find out more about the Olas Ocean Tribe leggings. And Claire, we're really excited about you doing the podcast for yoga, moving and grooving, and, of course, we're coming together for this competition as well and becoming a partner with us. So thank you very much for joining the family here, the tribe, the Wisp Sports Tribe, I suppose we should call it.
Yes, why not? Yeah, no, back at you. Very excited as well. Great to partner up and look forward to doing the yoga shows.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to it too. So thanks so much for taking the time to come on Transcending Sport and tell us about your innovative leggings here and breaking into business in a very eco-conscious way. We love it. Turning the tide on plastic, as Deacon would say. Well, thanks again, Claire. We look forward to catching up with you and the new show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And there'll be links in our show notes accompanying this episode to Claire's website at Olas Ocean Tribe and to her social media. And if you follow our social media channels at Wisp Sports, you'll hear about the new show that we talked about here, Moving and Grooving, Claire's show about yoga. That's coming up in early June, so stay tuned for that. And if you'd like to hear more conversations from the world of women's sports, we have over 30 shows now, more than 20 hosts around the world, bringing you lots of different sports and covering the important topics that affect women everywhere. That's all at Wisp Sports Radio, which you can download to any podcast app on your mobile devices, such as iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, and many more. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions for guests or topics for us to cover here at Wisp Sports, we would love to hear from you. You can reach us by emailing info@wispsports.com. And if you like what we do here at Wisp Sports, you can support us on our Patreon campaign by going to patreon.com/Wisp Sports. That will enable us to bring you not only more programming, but increase our live productions here at Wisp Sports too. There's so much more that we can do to bring you more coverage of women in sport. Thank you for listening and supporting women in sport everywhere.